This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
In business, there's no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. When you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, the last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. Each package moves through a secure, nationwide network tracked from dock to door with affordable, upfront pricing and delivery you can depend on. Because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS Ground Advantage.
The universe is full of mysteries. Black holes, quantum physics, galaxies. On TikTok, millions of people are learning more about the universe around them every day. Scientists break down complex theories, demonstrate experiments, and connect dots between the cosmos and our daily lives. One scroll might reveal the concepts on the fabric of space-time, the next an optical illusion. It's discovery on a massive scale, where millions learn something new every day.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know, a production of iHeartRadio.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark, and there's Charles W. Chuck Bryant over there, and it's just the two of us. And we are here today to present you stuff you should know about fireflies and lightning bugs, which are pretty much one and the same.
I assume you're a firefly guy, right?
I'm both. I vacillate. I'm
Really?
a vacillator.
Really?
I'll say it again. I vacillate.
That's weird. I don't know many people that kind of interchange these.
Well, I grew up in Toledo.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I picked up lightning bug. And then down here in the South, it's firefly, right?
You got it backwards, son.
Oh, well, then I picked up firefly as a kid and lightning bug in the South. That's it then.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm obviously born and raised here forever. I just can't imagine saying fireflies. It just seems very strange to me.
Yeah, it makes you think of like arsonists.
No, it makes me think of brown coats in the TV show.
Okay, sure. That was a good TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing to think about for sure.
But yeah, that's the deal apparently. In the South, it's lightning bugs generally.
Uh-huh.
I think firefly out west and northeast, and then Midwest and South is lightning bug generally.
Yeah, generally. I mean, there's pockets here there of weirdos who call them other things like jack-o'-lantern bugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But most people see fireflies and lightning bugs as like synonymous and interchangeable. But apparently there's a group of firefly researchers that differentiate where they use fireflies as like the umbrella term for a few other categories. Right.
There's the glowworm, of which the ladies don't have wings and they have a steady glow.
They're big in the UK. Huge.
Like big in size or just popular?
Popular is basically what I mean.
They're like 3 feet long.
Yeah.
And then you've got your daytime dark fireflies, which just get this out of here, if you ask me.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah, they don't even have light, so why even throw the word firefly in there?
They ruin it for everybody else. That's the problem with using genetics for taxonomy, you know?
Right. And then you've got your flashing firefly, and that's what we're kind of talking about here, which is the lightning bug.
Yeah, that's where it's interchangeable. Flashing firefly, lightning bug, one and the same. And we're not going to be pedantic from this point on, but I felt like that was worth pointing out, you know?
No, I agree. Well, we're going to be a little pedantic one more time.
I guess you're right.
I forgot, because fireflies aren't flies, lightning bugs aren't bugs, and there's quite a few little facts of the podcast that you can. I know. This is one of those, I think, where people don't know a lot about lightning bugs, so they can always delight their friends at their next backyard party by saying they're actually all beetles.
That's right, and everybody will be like, "What? Oh my God! You just won the party."
Oh, man, I haven't won a party in so long.
It's been a while. I haven't been to a party in so long. Even long before the pandemic, I stopped getting invited.
Oh, really?
Sure.
That's because you won too many parties.
I guess
People are like,
so.
You can't have Josh. He's a ringer.
It was like having Simone Biles over for a gymnastics party.
What? I don't get that one.
The goat thing.
I don't get the goat thing.
She's the greatest of all time with the gymnastics. I'm saying I'm the greatest of all time with party winning with facts.
I have goats that live across the street, and I literally just fed them, so my mind went to the animal, so I didn't get it. Yes, all about Simone Biles. She's great.
Okay.
Taking care of herself. I love it.
Yeah, sure.
So
no, I'm sorry. That sounded like I was ambivalent. I agree with you. I think it is good that she took care of herself.
I agree too.
Well, you said it first. Obviously, you agree with yourself.
Should we cut all that out?
No, I think that's stuff you should know gold. We haven't had some weirdo
exchange.
Yeah, for a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
All right. Can we get back to lightning bugs for the love of God?
Yes.
They're classed. Oh boy. Here we go. I'm going to say the order Coleoptera.
I think you just nailed it, Chuck. You just won the pronunciation party.
What, you want to try the family?
I've been trying to figure this out. I think it's Lampyridae.
I think that's about right.
Because pyro, like fire, like the bright. It could also be Lampyridae. It's one of those two. That's what I'm staking my claim on. I'm going to vacillate between Lampyridae and Lampyridae.
All right. But all together in this order and family, there are, here in the North American continent, there are more than 170 species and more than 2,000 worldwide. And they're always discovering more species. Not always, but they're still discovering, like every day. They're discovering more species. So that list grows and grows.
Yeah, which is pretty cool, especially considering that they are dropping like flies as far as anecdotal evidence is concerned, including anecdotal evidence from me.
Yeah, me too, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
very disappointing.
Sure. So the thing about fireflies is since they're a beetle family, most of them are all winged beetles. Almost all of them are. Like you said, some like glowworms are typically include females that don't have wings. But for the most part, they have wings, they fly around. And like winged beetles, they have certain parts. In particular, the elytra?
Yeah, I would say elytra or elytra.
Okay, and that is very cool little closure that like they're like bay doors that open and close on the back of the firefly to allow the wings to spread out to take flight. It's really neat.
It's like a DeLorean.
Yeah, it is a lot, or like a like the Tesla SUV.
Oh, did they open like that?
Yes.
That's so showy.
It's pretty cool though, man.
What is it about those doors?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I also love the old Lamborghini ones that would slide open.
Ever since I was 8, something about doors like that are just tickle me.
And those encase the wings and protect them. And then they also have an encased head. It's called a pronotum, and that's the covering over basically the entire head. So if you're looking on from a bird's eye view, you're just going to see you're going to see any face.
Yeah, it's just like a protective
like a
covering. It's like Jerry Only from the Misfits. It's like that getup that he wears that covers the back of his neck and head.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, and it has spikes, and I can tell you that Yumi has been impaled briefly on one of those spikes at that show that Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein invited us to
is she okay?
Madison Square Gardens. Yes, but it definitely caught her attention because those things are not for show, man. The spikes are very pointy.
And they're metal.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like guar and it's all like foam.
No, it's like Guar was apparently doing like a model of what Jerry Only was wearing all these years. Yeah.
All right. How big are these things? What did we settle on? I know you sent an update, but is that just because it was incorrect or because 7/16 of an inch makes no sense to anyone?
Well, it said that they range in size from like 7/16 of an inch to 9/16 of an inch. I think that's specifically like the Big Dipper firefly. Fireflies in general typically range from about 1/5 of an inch to an inch, typically.
Okay.
Like 5 to 25 millimeters, starting at about the size of a grain of rice all the way up to an inch. But there's some that are like way bigger than that.
Yeah, I mean, there are some that can be as big as the palm of your hand, but, here in the United States, these good old American ones, you know how big they are. They're about as big as a about as big as a fingernail.
That's right. And when they fly around, they go do 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 do.
I'm going to squirt some light on you and you.
And speaking of them squirting light, just last thing about their body, the light organ in their abdomen or tail is called the lantern, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So where do you find, besides backyards in the suburbs, where do you find fireflies, Charles?
Well, you can find them on any continent except, of course, Antarctica. I feel like we say that a lot. Poor Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be in tropical regions, temperate zones. You're going to see them. It depends on what stage they're in. The stage that we all love, the adult stage, it's only a couple of weeks long when they're flying around and lighting up their bellies. But mainly, and we'll get to their life cycle, they spend most of their time as larvae on the ground, on the forest floor, kind of near water usually. The larval stage, they look like almost like little dinosaur caterpillars. They're really interesting looking, and they look nothing like you would think if you're used to seeing like these fireflies fly around.
Yeah, especially, fireflies just seem so like mild-mannered and almost kind of dopey to some extent when they're flying around. So, no, when they're in the larval stages, we'll see they're holy terrors, basically.
Yeah.
But, they have like all sorts of different habitats. You can find them up in the southern provinces of Canada. You can find them in some arid areas. As long as there is permanent water, you could conceivably have firefly populations. And even like just, perpetually moist areas too. It doesn't have to be like a pond or something, but moist, like real moist areas.
Yeah, and you're going to see them in the humid summer evenings generally. In the south, it can be hot all year long, so you can see them some in the fall as well.
Mm-hmm.
And some, though, like they're outliers, like you said. Some of them are really super aquatic, and some of them like never come down from their trees.
Yeah.
And these are the ones, of the 2,000 species all over the world that we're talking about.
Right. And if you are looking for a firefly show, the best seasons that you're going to have firefly shows are after a warm, wet spring, or even during a warm, wet spring, and or after a mild winter, because those larvae that live in those marshy areas will have higher survival rates in a colder climate with a mild winter during the overwintering period.
All right. I think that's a great setup.
Sure. Let's get started.
Maybe we should take a break and reveal to everyone what the heck they're doing with those lanterns to begin with, huh?
I think so.
All right. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
Everyone knows winter is the real mess maker. You don't need WeatherTech floor liners for summer unless you hit the beach and half the beach ends up back in your car, or the campsite dirt ends up in your trunk. Then you'd want a cargo liner, or a road trip goes sideways, lemonade spills, ketchup goes rogue, ice cream drips. Yeah, you'd be pretty happy about those WeatherTech seat protectors. So just to be clear, as the mud you're inevitably going to step in this summer, you don't need WeatherTech unless you plan on doing summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
Spectrum Business keeps businesses of all sizes connected seamlessly with fast, reliable internet, advanced Wi-Fi, phone, TV, and mobile services.
That's right. And Spectrum Business offers 100% U.S.-based customer support 24/7 to help you stay up and running. And they offer tailored connectivity solutions with packages built for your business budget.
Yeah, so it's no wonder millions of business owners rely on Spectrum Business to keep them connected. Visit spectrum.com/business to learn more. Restrictions apply. Service is not available in all areas.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage band tee, not just a tee, the band tee from the last show your favorite band ever played. You wore it everywhere. Then your girlfriend started wearing it, which was cute until she dumped you and took it with her, which was not so cute.
Yeah, well, anyway, now you're on eBay. And there it is. Same tee from the same tour. Still living in your memory, rent-free forever.
See, the things you love have a way of finding their way back to you. But eBay isn't just for getting whatever your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend stole back, right?
No, it's also for that rare championship foul ball you caught, then heroically gave to the kid next to you. And where else are you going to find your first car? The one you wish you'd never sold. But now, finally get the chance to take it back home. For good this time.
So shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Okay, Chuck, we're about to act as Lucifer to all these people because we will be bringing light to understanding of how fireflies produce light using, appropriately, luciferase.
Right. And I guess we can go ahead, and since I promised a big reveal, they're doing all this to attract a mate. They're trying to get down and boogie with another lightning bug. That's why they're lighting up like that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about the reveal in the 1.5 seconds between your cliffhanger and us coming back. Yeah.
I wonder if people think if we leave for 120 seconds.
Right.
And just go, take a stretch or whatever.
And we just sit there in silence for 120
Right. That's what it's come to.
Jerry won't let us talk.
So, yeah, they're lighting up to attract a mate. And what they're doing here, they have these specialized cells in their abdomen to make that lantern light up. And it contains, like you said, that chemical called luciferin.
Sure.
And it makes an enzyme called luciferase.
If you don't want to sound devilish about it, that would be a fine pronunciation. I like luciferin.
Luciferin?
Luciferase.
But they need something else too, right? They need oxygen to make that thing blaze.
Yeah, that and adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, which is that chemically stored energy that's found in basically all cells of all life everywhere.
About that a lot.
Yeah, it's just kind of that ubiquitous thing that kind of makes it's what powers life. So when it all kind of combines, where you have oxygen and ATP and luciferin and luciferase, the enzyme that's produced by luciferin, this chemical reaction produces light. There's a couple of byproducts, oxyluciferin and adenosine monophosphate, and then light's given off. And you would think like, okay, light and heat, sure, that's a chemical reaction, so it's going to produce some heat. No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Here's one of those facts of the podcast, in my opinion. They call the kind of light that fireflies produce, the kind of bioluminescence that fireflies produce, cold light, because it is 100% efficient. None of the energy released from that chemical reaction is lost to heat. It is all, it just produces photons only.
Yeah, and that's why children can let a lightning bug land on their finger, and that little abdomen, that lantern can light up on their finger, and they don't go, ow, and smash it.
Yeah, try that with a sparkler.
Don't do that.
It doesn't work.
The light is the actual light, and the wavelength is between 510 and 670 nanometers. It looks yellowish. To me, it looks a little greenish. It's been described as reddish green, but it looks like a yellowish green to me.
It depends on the species, I think.
Yeah. I think there's ones that even give off blue, right? Yeah,
there's some around Asheville called the blue ghost firefly. And from a distance, they look blue, but up close, if you catch one and hold it in your hand, it's like a greenish thing. So it has something to do with the distance that makes it look blue. But I saw pictures of those things. I'm like, oh, I want to go see those one day.
Asheville's a nice weekend trip.
Sure. It's beautiful up there.
You guys ever go up there? No.
No. No.
We went a couple of years ago. It's great. Go to the what's it called? The big house.
Sure, the who's it's name?
I don't know why I'm blanking.
The Biltmore
Estate.
House. Yeah, but there's also like the mountains around there are neat, and like the town itself has a lot of great restaurants. If you're looking for vegan food, you could do a lot worse than Nashville, you know? So
or craft beer or homemade chocolate. Mm-hmm. Just don't go to the Biltmore House during Christmas unless, I just think it's better non-Christmas. Like the Christmas is so done there.
Sure.
That I feel like it obscures a lot of the beauty of the Biltmore House. And that kind of Christmas stuff that they put up is not my style. It's just it's just a lot.
Is it like the Belk style of Christmas?
Yeah.
Lots of
gold ribbons.
I'm with you.
It's not my thing. And the Biltmore stands on its own. It doesn't need all that garbage. But that's just my opinion.
You're like, I like my Christmas gaudy.
Plus, you don't get the gardens that you would. That's just me. We made the big mistake of going there in Christmas one time. Never happened again.
It was the worst mistake
It was the worst
ever made. And I hit a drifter once with my car.
Here's another cool fact of the show, I think, is that the lightning bugs all have gout, or they could very well have gout, because those cells that make that light are riddled with uric acid crystals, just like you have as a human with gout. But they do it because they are crystals to reflect that light away from their little abdomen.
Yeah, it's just like the lenses they used in Robert Eggers' masterpiece, The Lighthouse.
Yeah. Oh, boy. What a movie.
Yeah. I just wanted to slide a reference in.
And in order to get that oxygen, we've been saying it needs oxygen. You're probably like, well, how in the world do they get it?
Sure.
It is not just gathered through the air. It actually goes through a tube in the abdomen called the abdominal trachea, which is very interesting.
Yeah, they're not exactly sure if fireflies are able to turn the supply of oxygen on or off. It's almost like how it would inject fuel into a combustion engine. They are injecting oxygen into their luciferase engine and producing light with it. But they don't know if they can use nerves to turn it on and off, or if they're just, subject to the whims of oxygen availability. We just don't know at this point.
We just don't. And now here's how I understand this next bit, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they use this chemical reaction that happens in fireflies to produce that bioluminescence. Mm-hmm. They can use that, we said the ATP, like every animal on the planet has ATP, but if you have cell damage, maybe you might not have as much, or if it's diseased, you may not have enough. And do they actually use this bioluminescence to inject in the cells to see if they get that glowy reaction that they're looking for?
Yeah. They use it for that, to make sure that the cells have an expected amount of ATP, to locate cells that don't have enough ATP, because that would suggest there's some sort of problem going on there. And then also they figured out how to attach the luciferin gene to other genes using, I believe, CRISPR, which ties into our optogenetics episode.
Yeah.
Where they're using like the light that's produced by this bioluminescent to turn on and off nearby genes, which is nuts. But the thing I saw that that this luciferase was used for most abundantly, especially in the 20th century, was to detect spoilage in like food, like milk. Because if you had bacteria growing in your milk, if you added luciferase, the milk would start to glow, because the luciferase would interact with the ATP in those bacterial cells, and you would know you needed to pour some bleach in with your milk.
Right. No, don't ever do that. Don't ever drink glowing milk, and don't ever pour bleach and drink it in anything.
But apparently we humans have like no problems ingesting and working with luciferase. It doesn't do anything bad to our bodies as far as we know, which is pretty interesting.
All right. So now I know everyone's like, this is all great, chemical reactions and stuff, but I would really love to talk about the sexy stuff, because anytime we talk about animals and insects, we always get to talk about sexy stuff, which is a lot of fun.
It's basically our only outlet.
It really is. Except when we, blush our way through episodes on puberty and stuff.
Or see a good pair of gull-wing doors open up on a car.
Right. And of course, puberty isn't sexy stuff. I hope that didn't come across.
Right. I think that was a good save.
Ooh. So when they're flashing, like we said, it is a mating ritual, and it is usually the male flashing their light high above the sky or high above the yard in the sky to show off to females who are on the ground, kind of sitting around, having a glass of wine, and they're watching the light show, and they're like, "What do you think of that one, Marge?" And they're like, "Well, he looks okay, so let me flash back." And they'll flash back, and then the male will see that, and they'll say, "Hey, she just swiped, I don't know if it's left or right, but in the correct direction. And let me go down and see if we can have a little party for the next few hours."
Yeah, because that's how long they couple. And by couple, I mean like have sex. They stick together for like an hour or multiple hours, Chuck, which is pretty impressive.
Agreed. Yeah, an hour to 3 hours. That's great. Good for them.
Right. I'm really happy for them.
Here's the cool thing too, though, is each species has its own little blinky pattern because they want to mate with the appropriate match. And so they're going to send out their blinky pattern. In some places around the world, they are synchronous. I think Southeast Asia has the only like really, really, truly synchronous lightning bugs, in that they all blink in unison, which really must be cool to see.
Yeah. And I guess the message is like, come and get it.
I guess so.
All at once. Like kind of in a creepy Children of the Damned
right.
tone.
Other places, I think they can synchronize, but they don't become like completely synchronous as a unit, right?
No, I mean, they will like in little localized areas and for a few seconds only. And you've probably seen this and didn't necessarily recognize what you were looking at. But this is like when I thought about it, I was like, I was having trouble understanding it from the written description. And I thought about it and thought about it. I sat down for a little while, thought about it some more. And finally
Had
I was
a
like,
Twinkie?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's just a given. And then I finally was like, okay, I think I got this, and I think I've seen this before, where you'll just see a few fireflies just start to kind of like fall into a rhythm, and then they fall out of the rhythm after a few flashes. That's still considered synchronous.
Right.
Give them a break.
Yeah, they're trying their best.
Right.
They have an oxygen abdomen trachea, for the love of God. So, yeah.
One of the things I saw, though, that I thought was like really, really interesting is, as we'll see when we talk about what they eat, most of the adults that you see flying around either don't eat or maybe eat plant stuff like nectar and pollen. But there's this one kind of firefly, which is actually pretty abundant in North America, the Photurus species, where the female of the species will actually mimic the female of a rival species, Photinus, right? And they'll attract males from the other species, the Photinus species, to come over thinking that they're going to mate. And then what they find out is that, oh, wait, this is the one female of the one species that is actually going to eat me, that is actually predatory against other fireflies, and now I'm dead.
Yeah, they're tricksters because the male Photurus can also imitate another male Photinus to attract a female of its own species. So she shows up thinking that she might have food, and he's like, oh, no, it's time to get down and boogie.
That's right. And then beyond that, Chuck, it goes even one more level deeper because they are pretty sure, and there's this really great website called firefly.org. It's run by a guy named Ben Pfeiffer, from what I understand. He seems to be quite dedicated to fireflies. But this is the only place I saw it, but he was saying that some researchers think that male Photinus, the ones that end up sometimes being food for female Photuruses, male Photinuses have figured out how to put off bad flash patterns that make it look like a female Photurus impersonating a male Photinus to scare off other male Photinus fireflies so that it reduces competition for female Photinuses. Isn't that nuts?
It's kind of brain breaking.
It really is, but this is apparently what the fireflies are doing with their time.
That and getting down and boogieing. Like we said, it's a few hours, 1 to 3 hours of that. And when this happens, the male is going to transfer his sperm packet to the female, and they call this, in the field of studying this in entomology, they call it a nuptial gift that the male gives the female.
Sure.
And this all occurs individually over, like we said, a few hours, but a few days total of mating that's going to happen, usually in the spring. Then the lady is going to lay her fertilized eggs, either on the ground or just below the surface, maybe in some rotting logs or in, mulchy sort of leaves and things like that. Got to be moist. And then 3 to 4 weeks later, they're going to hatch out those little larvae who are going to live on the ground, terrorizing their neighbors for about 2 years.
Yeah, and in the meantime, mom and dad have gone off and died because they only live as adults for a few weeks. But you said it, those larvae live for up to 2 years. It's by far the longest part of the life cycle. And they are terrors of the miniature world down there.
Yes, they have mandibles, and they inject their prey and paralyze them with neurotoxins. And I know we've talked about some other insects that do this. They secrete these enzymes that basically liquefy what they're trying to eat so they can just suck it up.
It's like a Seth Brindle fly.
Yeah, exactly. And then in that stage, they'll eat worms, and worms will also eat them and return the favor. But they'll eat snails, they'll eat slugs, they'll eat other insects, and they're just down there kind of wreaking havoc, and then also trying not to get eaten.
Yeah, because it goes both ways in that world. And frogs apparently will eat firefly larvae pretty commonly. They'll also eat firefly adults that land on the ground. I think snakes eat firefly adults on the ground. Some birds, I think ducks do, but it's not necessarily on purpose. They might just get swept up with some other actual duck food.
They might get caught up in the frenzy.
Pretty much. And then fish also like to eat firefly eggs and larvae that are like in marshy areas like rice paddies or things like that. But apparently the most widespread and abundant predators against firefly larvae are spiders.
Yes.
But don't feel bad because firefly larvae eat spiders as well. And there are also some spiders that have learned, like, you don't really want to eat a firefly. I'm kind of scared of those things, it turns out.
Yeah, so here's the deal. They, when you see them flying around, they're flying around very sort of lazily. They're lighting up their lanterns, broadcasting that they're out there. And the reason that they're broadcasting their presence is, like, you would think that that's not good. Like, a bird will swoop down and eat me because they clearly see me flying around. That's actually a warning sign, because they're not great flyers. They're not going to dodge you and outmaneuver you Maverick style in a dogfight. They're going to secrete these nasty, I guess they're toxins that are really, really bitter. They really kind of stink. I think if you're studying fireflies and you have like thousands of them in a room, it can kind of be pretty stinky in there. Yeah,
a nauseating odor when 10,000 to 20,000 are confined in a room.
Yeah, that was one researcher's quote. So what they do is they deliver this bitter, like, I think they secrete a few drops of blood, and it's just this toxic, bitter taste that, everything's eating them, but everything is also like, oh God, why did I just eat that?
Yeah, and apparently this toxin that they create, lucibifagins, which is not a great word, it is akin to those neurotoxins that some, like, poisonous tree frogs produce and secrete. So it could conceivably kill some things, and I think that might be the same neurotoxin that the larvae uses venom to paralyze poor slugs and stuff like that. But some species have been like, you don't want to eat, like, fireflies. Like in one study of trying to feed them to lizards mixed in with mealworms, the lizards will like wipe, basically spit out and wipe away like the firefly, and then wipe its snout with its forearm. Like, gross.
It's really funny.
That was disgusting.
I think bats are smart. We have a great episode on bats, and they have learned not to eat them because they did a study in Boise State where they coated their little lanterns with paint so the bats couldn't see them, and the bats started eating them. But it didn't take very long till the bats were, like, literally spitting them out and saying, you jerks, why are you painting those lanterns? I don't want to eat those things. We've learned not to eat those things.
Right. And they also found that bats that I guess hadn't been exposed to fireflies before, if they didn't paint the fireflies, those bats learned even faster to avoid fireflies because of the bioluminescence. So what these Boise State researchers who conducted that study concluded was that the bioluminescence, the flashing of fireflies and lightning bugs, actually developed as a way to warn off predators, including bats, and that it probably co-evolved with that predation and then became the main trait that it is now, which is a courtship ritual later on, but that it had a different purpose at first. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and they think this because I think in some species, the eggs and the larvae actually glow as well, and they're clearly not mating. So
no, not yet. Not for hours at a time, I can tell you.
All right. Let's take another break maybe, and we'll talk about why these lightning bugs are disappearing. I almost said the F word. And what we can do about it right after this. Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
Everyone knows winter is the real mess maker. You don't need WeatherTech floor liners for summer unless you hit the beach and half the beach ends up back in your car, or the campsite dirt ends up in your trunk. Then you'd want a cargo liner, or a road trip goes sideways, lemonade spills, ketchup goes rogue, ice cream drips. Yeah, you'd be pretty happy about those WeatherTech seat protectors. So just to be clear, as the mud you're inevitably going to step in this summer, you don't need WeatherTech unless you plan on doing summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
Chuck, I think it is one of the saddest things on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And I mean that quite actually, that fireflies are vanishing very quickly because we're talking about an enormous drop. And again, this is largely anecdotal from people of a certain age, like our age group, who grew up like seeing tons of fireflies, like so many fireflies, it never even occurred to you that they could possibly go away, to where they're just gone in some places now. Or in my backyard in Atlanta, it's like, you know, if I see 5 or 6, I'm like, it's a good night tonight.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like the whole yard would have been filled up with it 20 years ago. And it's really distressing to think of a world without fireflies. And that seems like where we're headed. And it's all our fault, basically.
It really is. It's I see them a lot more at my house than I do, I feel like elsewhere in our neighborhood, because our yard is crazy and it's wild. And it's, you know, we don't spray for mosquitoes or use pesticides or anything like that. So we have a pretty good, like, wild habitat back there for all kinds of insects. But, you know, for a long time, they were harvested, I think, in different parts of the world. They were harvested commercially in Japan, the Genji firefly. And then in the U.S. from 60 to about 95, the Sigma Chemical Company harvested about 3 million a year to get that luciferase and luciferin.
Yeah, apparently they sold it to the biomedical industry, who would use it to, like, detect spoiled milk and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
No, for real. That's what all those were harvested for. Like 100.
That's what I'm saying. All that stuff we already talked about.
Right.
That's what they needed it for.
100 million fireflies over that, like, 30-something year period were harvested by it for their luciferae. And then fortunately some saint, patron saint of fireflies in, I think, 1985.
That's Nathan Fillion.
You're right. Nathan Fillion synthesized luciferase, and it started to become widely available and cheaper. And so they let the fireflies alone after that.
Why did it take 15 years to cease it? Just to roll it out, I guess?
I think it was more like 10, and it was probably really expensive at first, and then it took about 10 years for them to figure out how to produce it, mass produce it cheaply, and then the Sigma chemical company was like, it's a penny less than the lightning bug ones, sold.
So, yeah, you are seeing fewer fireflies. It's not a figment of your imagination. They surveyed, I think, 350 lightning bug experts, and they said it's really three things. And they're all because of us. It's habitat loss, toxic chemicals, and light pollution.
Yeah.
Habitat loss, they have, I don't think we mentioned, this is, to me, one of the coolest facts of the show, is that if you see a lightning bug in your backyard, then it has a very high likelihood of being born in your backyard. It's really, they're super, super localized. And I just love the thought of that they sort of live on your property. Yeah.
I mean, like that's their whole world right there is your little backyard. So it kind of makes you, like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, I want to nurture that and take care of it. Like these are like family, basically. They're like yard family, you know?
Yard family.
They're not interlopers. They're not neighbors. They're like, they belong in your yard. That's their yard in a lot of ways. So I thought that was kind of neat to realize. One of the problems of that is, though, Chuck, is that they don't migrate very well, if at all. So if you disrupt their habitat and kill off the firefly population, they're like they might be gone unless you go find some other firefly larvae and bring them back. Like a new group is not necessarily going to migrate in and repopulate the area.
Yeah, and this is like, we're looking at you, individual homeowner. Like, you can say, like, the contractor who comes in and bulldozes a forest to build a neighborhood, and that's certainly true. But if you say, you know what, I don't like, I don't have a view of blank, so I'm going to cut down these 7 trees in my backyard to have a big golf course-like scene, you're disrupting their habitat by doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to be too judgy, but I am very much judging you.
Well, I think we should take the other tack and then promote things people can do. So we'll get them interested on the one hand, and then lay them with the haymaker of how they can help. One of the other problems is artificial light at night, Chuck.
Yeah, Alan, ALAN. It is, light pollution. We should do a whole episode on light pollution. It's something that interests me.
The words right out of my mouth. How do they smell?
Gross. Weird. Did you have a frittata for breakfast?
Yeah. Can you smell the olives in there?
You can smell them on the words.
Yeah.
So we're talking about everything from just street lights and business lights and any kind of light you would find in an urban or more urban or suburban area to something called sky glow, which is that just more diffuse illumination that you kind of see everywhere as well now.
Yeah.
And that can be so bright it can exceed full moon levels. And, I see that stuff a little bit out at the camp, even in the middle of the woods. You can see that sky glow sort of on the lower horizon.
It's off-putting.
It is.
But when you're a lightning bug and like you rely on light to find mates, if you're distracted by a bright light, or the light that you're putting out is being drowned out by competing artificial light, like that's a real problem, and that can lead to a decline in the population. So, especially when you combine habitat loss with, somebody keeping their back porch light on all night, every night, year round, that's not good for the lightning bugs, and it's a big problem for them. So too are cars, because so many fireflies and lightning bugs live in wooded areas. We've built so many roads through the woods that when people drive through there at night, those car lights can actually create quite a problem for their courtship and their hours-long coupling as well.
That's right. And then the last thing, of course, is, if you're using pesticides and herbicides on your lawn and in your yard, you're killing all kinds of things, including lightning bugs. If you're spraying for mosquitoes, you are wrecking the pollinating system in your property and killing lightning bugs.
Yeah.
And I am not going to judge because Josh told me not to.
Mm-hmm.
But don't spray for mosquitoes. Just don't.
Supposedly,
we need our bees.
That's supposed to be a last resort. Like there's so many other things you can do to get rid of mosquitoes beyond just spraying for them. And then, not just the mosquito spray, but any neonicotinoid pesticide is really bad for basically every insect in the area, including bees. Remember our colony collapse episode?
Yeah, so saying all the pollinators are being affected.
Yeah.
It's devastating.
But in addition to the chemicals too, you can mow your lawn too much. Our lawns actually make a pretty good habitat in the absence of other like habitats that lightning bugs prefer. If you keep your grass long enough, you want to kind of provide a buffer between the mower blade and the lightning bug. So if you cut your grass a lot and keep it nice and trim, you may want to consider growing it out, beyond like say the 2-inch length, and you can mow it, but just know that when you're mowing it, you're also stepping on and crushing lightning bug larvae too. So just be thoughtful when you mow your lawn. How about that?
Yeah, be thoughtful. Mulching is a great idea. I'm actually down to kind of almost zero grass, but when I did have grass, I would just mulch mow. I'm not a big fan of raking leaves. Mm-hmm. Certainly, as a Stuff You Should Know co-host, I'm not a fan of blowing leaves because we know that you are of the devil if you're doing that. Right?
Yeah.
What? You don't hate leaf blowers anymore?
I hate leaf blowers, but I use one now.
Oh.
I know.
Things have changed.
I feel like I should really, I needed to fess up about this. It's battery powered and I use it sparingly, but yes, I have a leaf blower.
I do too. I never hated them like you did. I just don't think you should like blow your whole lawn like out into the street. I use it
totally
to blow the leaves off my deck back into my yard.
You know who hates the sound of the leaf blower almost violently is David Spade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you follow him on Instagram, probably 1 out of every 5 posts is like him just like ripping into some guy who's using a leaf blower over like on the other end of his neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
He hates leaf blowers.
We'll have to exchange brands. 'Cause I don't know if yours is good, but I got a great cordless battery-powered blower that's super powerful.
I use the DeWalt battery power. It's pretty great.
No, okay.
What do you use?
I can't remember the name of it. I have to go look.
Is it one of those like eco ones? Or orange is probably Husqvarna.
No, it's not Husqvarna.
Steel? Echo?
No. It's not one of those big brands. I think it's like Works, like WORXX.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. They're good too.
Boy, I was always like, those battery-powered ones don't have the juice you need, but these have the juice you need.
Yeah, they have. I've got a battery-powered lawnmower that I charged one time, and still it just cuts like crazy. Like, a year after the first time I charged it. They definitely work.
Yeah, that's what I got too. They last a long time.
So, Chuck, one thing you said about blowing leaves out into the yard or out into like your curb or something like that, or even raking them up and like removing them, like that is where firefly larvae live. So you're removing the firefly larvae from your yard to God knows where, probably not some place where they're going to be cared for and repopulate. They're probably going to die in the bargain. So yes, if you really care about your grass, you're not just going to leave leaves on there. But, if you have garden beds, you could do that. Apparently, you don't want to clean up your garden in the fall. You want to just leave it as is over the winter because that is a habitat for all sorts of great creatures that keep your soil going, including firefly larvae. And then you clean it up in the spring. And if you do like rake your leaves off of your lawn, don't just throw them away. Like put them in paper bags and keep them wet, like maybe under a tree for the winter, and then work them into the soil in the spring. And you've got a great yard suddenly for the firefly larvae that you just kind of help nurture over the winter.
Yeah, plus it's great for your garden beds. It's just really super rich, good stuff.
It really is. What else? You said basically you don't want to cut down those trees to give yourself a golf course view. You want to kind of leave parts of your yard wild too, right?
Yeah, my backyard now is a little too wild for my taste.
Really?
It's pretty crazy.
Oh, man, I got to come over and see it.
Yeah, it's, Emily went nuts planning things over the past few years, and it's just, it's something else. It's like it feels like a science experiment going on back there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, we let it go wild, But you can just let parts of your, like, designate a corner of your yard and let that kind of go a little bit crazy. Remember when we studied Darwin years ago, how he would just let everything go crazy because he could just study so much more stuff.
Yeah, and like if you have like a tree line or something on the fringes of your yard, let that go crazy. Let it grow out a little bit more. Like, like leave some of the shrubs you think are kind of ugly that are growing in there, or replace them with native shrubs, even better. Or like it can be as simple as if a tree falls down in your yard and it's not like covering the grass, just leave it where it is and let it rot. That's a great firefly habitat right there.
Totally. The final thing you can do, well, just a couple of things, but turn those lights off. If you got big old yard spotlights, I don't know what you're doing, but no one wants that. Your neighbors don't want that. The fireflies don't want that.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah, at least put them on like a motion sensitive thing that turns off after like a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, turn those lights off. Try and make it dark. And then this last thing is something I'm really bummed that I missed out on this year. I did not know about it.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm definitely going to sign up. It's called the Vanishing Firefly Project. And what they do is offer up an app that's for free. And you, on 3 different days, they have a census, June 6th, July 4, and August 1st, where you go out and you count fireflies or lightning bugs in your yard for a certain amount of time, and then enter that into the census. And they're getting a pretty robust like body of data from this.
Yeah, there's another group called Firefly Watch from the Museum of Science in Boston. And they have a even more extensive census. But it's basically like citizen scientists contributing to much needed data. Because like we were saying, all the stuff about the fireflies vanishing is anecdotal. And only now are researchers really starting to turn to studying the issue so we can figure out what the biggest problems are and how to alleviate them so we don't lose fireflies, because nobody wants that. I don't care how nihilistic you are. I don't care how little you care about anything. If you stopped and really searched your feelings, you would find that you don't want a world without fireflies.
Agreed.
Or lightning bugs.
Agreed. Even more.
And I have to say, Chuck, I really feel like we brought the country together, much needed, by using both fireflies and lightning bugs in this episode.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, since Chuck said agreed at least 3 times, it's time for listener mail.
I'm going to call this hot off the presses. Hey guys, this is Kelsey from Chico, California. I'm a counselor and professor at a local community college, and I've never gotten sarcasm. My family is very blunt, and if anyone is sarcastic, well, I wouldn't know it. I start all my classes explaining that I'm being...
Wait a minute, that was sarcasm, right?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I start all my classes explaining that I'm being genuine, and if you think I said something sarcastic, I didn't. But in the podcast, you mentioned that individuals that are atypical might not get sarcasm. My friends who work in special education have totally used hand signs with me when they were being sarcastic. In your podcast, which I've listened to from the beginning, I only know Josh is being sarcastic when I think, that was kind of mean. And then Chuck giggles a little bit. That's the tell, I guess.
Yeah.
When my husband is sarcastic and he gets a double laugh, meaning he laughs at himself for the joke, I do that a lot, and then giggles a little when he has to explain it to me, that's when I know he's being sarcastic.
Nice.
Anyway, you two are great, and I often use your podcast as another form of learning in my courses, and that is from Kelsey.
Thanks a lot, Kelsey. Thanks for pointing all that out, because I hadn't really realized how that could be interpreted. But Chuck is my sarcasm beard, everybody. Thank you for that, great. Chuck. I appreciate it. Well, we appreciate Kelsey, too, for writing in. And if you want to be like Kelsey, you can send us an email to stuffpodcast@iheartradio.com.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
Service opens doors, and at American Military University, it can open doors for the whole family. If you have a loved one who served in the military, you may qualify for reduced tuition. AMU offers flexible online programs designed to fit your schedule, so you can keep moving forward wherever life takes you. Learn more at amu.apus.edu/military. Open doors to the future for you and your family with the help of American Military University.
Everyone knows winter is the real mess maker. You don't need WeatherTech floor liners for summer unless you hit the beach and half the beach ends up back in your car, or the campsite dirt ends up in your trunk. Then you'd want a cargo liner, or a road trip goes sideways, lemonade spills, ketchup goes rogue, ice cream drips. Yeah, you'd be pretty happy about those WeatherTech seat protectors. So just to be clear, as the mud you're inevitably going to step in this summer, you don't need WeatherTech unless you plan on doing summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today. When it comes to small business, people want to talk to people, not bots, not voicemail. Your customers or clients want a real human connection, and that's exactly what they get with Ruby. Ruby is the virtual receptionist company that takes care of your callers when you're unavailable, in the middle of something, or just don't want to pick up. They can answer, screen, and transfer calls, as well as take messages, collect payments, book appointments, and more, all while saving you time and making the people you serve feel special. It's available 24/7, 365 days a year, and is 100% based in the U.S. See how it works at ruby.com, or better yet, give them a call at 844-900-RUBY.
The next time you end up with something on your shirt, don't turn to your usual detergent. Check out Tide Evo. Tide Evo represents over 10 years of innovation in product development. It's a revolutionary 100% concentrated waterless laundry tile made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. It's not pods and it's not sheets. It uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging. It's mess-free, lightweight, and dissolves quickly. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.